Alright everybody, we're here with the 200% showcase with Janemba. I've seen this requested a lot in other people's comments, specifically to Truth's, or just Truth, I mean, are we on the nickname basis? I don't know, you have to ask him. But here we are, Janemba got his 200% leader with Cooler. I think he might have another, no, does he? I don't know. Anyway, the point being here, Janemba boy here has 200% leader skill. Excuse me. Sorry, mine here. We're already starting out with cord issues. That's cool. There we go. Hopefully we don't have too many more cord issues this video, but mine is built with mostly additional, and then he's got a bit of dodge here. I could probably bump these equips up to something better, but this is just what I initially gave him whenever he came out. Because really I just wanted to buff up his defense numbers. That's kind of what I was going for with those two equips. And then I gave him just the silver dodge initially whenever I first got him. I could probably bump these up a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with where it's at the moment. Maybe give him a little less crit, because he doesn't really, at this point, especially in his lifestyle, he doesn't really need crit at all. What this Janemba is here to do is just be a tank, which is really what he's always been here for. But, you know, sometimes you do want those crits occasionally, but I could probably lower this and then bump the other two up a little bit. Janemba characters in general, I think, have the best villain link sets, like, period. They've got Big Bad Bosses, attack and defense 25%. They've got Shocking Speed, 2-key, 5% defense. Metamorphosis, 5% HP, 10% attack and defense. Brutal Beatdown, 15% attack. Fear and Faith, 2-key and pointless ability. We got Fierce Battle, 20%, and then Legendary Power on this Janemba. I'm trying to remember, what's the other link that other Janembas normally have? Let me go ahead and pull. I have Tech Janemba on the team. Let me go ahead and switch to him. What do they normally have? Oh, Nightmare. Nightmare is the other link that they usually have. So not a big deal that this guy's missing Nightmare. It would definitely help, but I mean, this is like the most villain-centric link set in the game that's just going to work well with pretty much any villain. Like, obviously, Big Bad Bosses is, like, of course, right? Like, that one's obvious. Shocking Speed is a decently common villain key link and just a general good key link. Like, there's several characters on here that just have Shocking Speed, and we're slowly getting more characters that have Shocking Speed. So him having that is just good in general. Like, if you were to ever run him with Sin, like, I think this Sin is, like, Fear and Faith, Shocking Speed, Big Bad Bosses, and Brutal Beatdown. So, like, he's already sharing a ton of links with that guy. Oh, and Big Bad Bosses. So it's like, he shares, like, 5 villain links with, like, every villain in the game, pretty much, except for, like, maybe the Boos. But even some of the Boos he's going to share quite a few links with. It's like, Janemba characters have always had this incredible link set, and I think that's one of the most valuable things that they bring to the table, along with, as far as I know, every Janemba character guards, except for the transformed Tech Janemba and maybe, like, the AGL Janemba, right? But who's using the AGL Janemba? Who cares? And then, oddly, like, this guy loses guard after he transforms, which is, you know, whatever, but, which, I mean, I don't want to say this guy's coming up on an easy A soon, but it's not, like, out of the realm of possibilities that it's within the next, like, 18 months or something. So it would be nice to see this guy, because right now, like, it's pointless to transform this guy. You should never transform him. We won't be doing that in this video. But, like, you know, they easy A this guy, and they give this guy guard. Like, suddenly, I don't know, like, this is crazy. So this Janemba, anyway, what he does, he gets attack and defense 120%. He guards all attacks in the same turn as the first or second attacker in the turn. This does activate with him just being in the slot. He doesn't actually have to attack first, which is very good. He gets up to 6 key and 66 attack and defense with each attack performed in the second or third slot. And then he gets a high chance of nullifying key blast supers. So, the important thing you kind of want to keep in mind with Janemba is that you want to use him in slots. Really, like, 2 is where you want to use him for the first couple turns, help him get built up, which is why I think additional can be good on him, because the faster you get him built up, because it's just attacks, right? It doesn't have to be super attacks. It's just attacks performed. So you just need that additional to proc on either his first appearance or second appearance, and then he's fully built up. Because you really, like, you want this guy to be run in slot 1, but, like, ideally to help hold down, like, these cooler rotations, because that's kind of his value, right? Is that we can run, like, this Golden Freeze on one rotation and lock down slot 1 there, and then, like, this guy can lock down slot 1 on the other rotation and still share a bunch of links with Cooler. But, like, you need to get him built up first, like, really, to help him be super competitive in these new stages. Like, he can work okay with just, like, a little bit of build-up, but, like, you really do want that build-up. Like, what's he at right now? 200k? I mean, that's it, right? He doesn't get any defense on super attack. He just lowers defense here, and then he lowers defense here, or greatly lowers, who cares? So he doesn't get any defense on super attack effect. Like, the only extra defense he gets is from doing these attacks in slot 2 or 3, and you don't really want to run him in slot 3 unless, like, there's a super attack in slot 3 and it's a key blast and you think you can nullify it, or just if you think it's just going to be like a normal attack and he can take it, right? But typically, this guy doesn't have guard in slot 3, so it doesn't really work as a floater. So like I said, you really want to be using him in slots 2. So that's a lot of words to say. Let's hop into this Janemba showcase. So right here, we're going to have 5 out of 7 active because we're going to get legendary power as soon as we get key. Let's go ahead and grab these STR orbs with this cooler. Like I said, luckily early in these beginning fights, like, as long as this first attack is in a super, we should be able to hold down slot 1 just fine. We can get all of these orbs here. Until Janemba really starts building up key, he can kind of have key issues. You know, most modern LRs these days are coming out and they're getting like a million key at the start of turn. This guy doesn't get any. So he's just got his key links. Then we do have support from Turles, who's giving attack support in this fight. He's not giving the defense support because we're not facing a super class enemy. Anyway, let's hop in. I'm going to try to just keep these rotations to the Janemba rotation, so we're actually going to do some cuts in this video, which I know is usually pretty hard for me because I like to ramble on about these characters. I do think Janemba is actually one of the best aging characters in the game. Let me go ahead while I'm thinking about it and pull up when Janemba came out, because I don't actually remember. I know it was Tanabata 2 years ago, right? Because last year was Vegeta and Trunks. Okay, cool. Thanks, Cooler. Are we just dead here because my cooler sold? Okay, thanks, bud. Yeah, one day I will get to use the, cooler that everybody else gets to use, right? The one that just goes insane and does a million supers every turn and just constantly wins fights. I'll get to use that guy one day. All right, so we didn't get the additional there. 7 million, pretty good. When did Janemba come out? It was 2 years ago for sure for Tanabata. But what was the exact date?
私の新たなる進化をわかりやすく金色にしてみましたが半分すぎましたかね。安っぽいエリーですがゴールデンフリーザとでも言いましょうか。
Alright, sorry, I had to play that intro. It's like, it's required of me to play that. Real quick, before I'm just going to cut and come to the next rotation. But before I do that, Janemba released July 20th, 2021. So for a almost 2-year-old unit now, he's definitely holding up better than other 2-year-old units, right? Especially yellow coin LRs from that time period. He is definitely holding up better, because I still think he's one of maybe the top, probably top 5 yellow coin LRs. I don't know that he cracks the top 10 LRs, but I mean, you could make an argument maybe that you like this guy better than Gohan. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut. We're going to come back on the next Janemba rotation. Alright, we're back on the Janemba rotation, and you can see the Metamorphosis link kicking in there. I'm going to go ahead and put... Ooh, do I want to put this Janemba in slot 1? My plan was to kind of run these two together, but this guy really needs 2 rainbow orbs to work. Okay, listen, I know this is like a Janemba, a STR, or a physical Janemba showcase, but I gotta get my tech Janemba slander in here, right? This guy has aged better than I definitely expected, but his flaws that he has had since he released are still present today. This guy having no key links, like, what? We really had to get More Than Meets the Eye and Master of Magic on there, really? We couldn't have cut those out and put in just, like, Fear and Faith, at least. I mean, please, come on. And then this guy just, like, PyCon, what is it? He needs 1 rainbow orb and then, like, 3 type orbs, I think, to get his support. Why does Janemba need 2 rainbow orbs for his damage reduction and then 4 for his support? What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Somebody tell me, please. This guy is definitely aged better than I expected. Like, I did not expect him to have a lifespan near this long. because whenever he came out, I didn't even summon for this guy whenever he came out, because I was just like, I'm never going to use him, because he was a horrible, like, his team was terrible. Corroded Body and Mind on release was, like, one of the worst teams ever. It still kind of is, but at least now we have, like, the Metal Coolers and, like, Ginyu and stuff on it. It's in this guy, right? Now, back to this Janemba, right? This physical Janemba, actually talking about him. Some people would say, and I would probably agree, that he is the best aging unit in the game, but I think that kind of implies that he's consistently been good, like, since he came out. And I don't know that's necessarily been true. He was definitely okay whenever he came out, but he's never really had a good team, right? The big issue with Janemba units, right, and I think one of the reasons why they kind of don't have an issue making them super busted, because, like, historically, Janemba units have been some of the, if not the best villain units in the game, is because they're only on, like, what is this, 5 categories, and this guy has one more than usual because he has Exploding Rage. Like, come on, movie bosses, Transformation Boost, Exploding Rage, Corroded Body Mind, and Accelerated Battle. Like, these Janemba units, just for whatever reason, have no teams. Like, I don't know why. Like, you look at Cooler, right? You know, he doesn't have too many more. Like, he has 8 instead of, was it 5 that Janemba has? But, I mean, that's still 3 more, right? I don't know. I mean, like, Janemba's not going to have, like, target Goku because they didn't really have, like, a goal in mind. I think they could have put Janemba on Inhuman Deeds. I know that kind of goes with, like, killing your allies or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like they could have just put him on it. Like, why not? I don't know. We gotta get Janemba more teams, because I really want to use this character. And that's what I was kind of getting at, is that Janemba historically has not had... You know, we're just going to play this out. I know I said I was going to cut, but I got to get this point across. Janemba characters, right, have always had a... what's the word I'm looking for? Use your words, brain. Or this Janemba, he came out and he was definitely good on release, right? Like, you could definitely look at him and say, like, this is a good character, this is a good kid. But he's never really had teams to run him on. Like, movie bosses didn't have a lead whenever this guy came out. Who was the leader? Like, STR Cooler? Like the EZA Cooler? You were not running this guy 2 years ago on that team. Turles? No. I guess there was Broly, but Janemba doesn't really work well with Broly. Or the Dragon Ball Super Broly. Like, it just, like, he didn't have a team there. Transformation Boost was kind of dead at the time. Exploding Rage, I don't know that has ever been alive. I mean, I guess now it kind of is, because they have two 200% leaders. Essentially, with Kid Goku and God Goku, those are, like, it's kind of interesting, like, whenever you say, like, who has the 200% leader right now. Like, the teams that have 200% leaders, they're not, you don't look at the base leader skill, you look at who's getting the extra 30% buff. It's like the 7th anniversary LRs, those are technically Kamehameha 200% leaders, right? And then, like, God Goku is Exploding Rage, and is it Bond of Friendship? I don't remember God Goku off the top of my head. But you have to actually look at their extra 30% that they're giving, and that's like the 200% leader, in my opinion, at least. Alright, so Cell is stunned here, so we don't have to worry about Tech Janemba. We can do this. No, that won't give the support. This, no. Okay, we can't get the support on this rotation, but it is what it is. We just want to make sure this guy's getting built up. I think he only has 1 build up, right? We are getting support on this rotation from Cooler. We can go ahead and take a look at his defense at 400k. Keep in mind, we're only getting 50% support from this guy at the moment. We're not getting support from Janemba because we weren't able to get 4 key orbs, because they gave this guy, like, the worst support in the game. Like, why did they make it so restricted? There was absolutely no need for that whenever he has no key links. But yeah, so it's like, I don't know that you can say this Janemba was a great aging character, because, like, he came out and he was good, right? But then he just had, like, a period where you couldn't really use him because he didn't have a team. So it's kind of like he was well cultivated, right? Like, you planted the seeds of Janemba in the game, and then they sprouted here. And I mean, honestly, he holds up well in Red Zone. You can absolutely use this guy across all Red Zones. He's one of the best units for Broly, because, especially whenever Broly first came out, and still now on Global, because, you know, you can't dodge Broly, right? Okay, bud, this is, again, I'm keeping this in the video. We're going to cut here in a second, but Janemba was one of the best characters for Broly because he has that 50% chance to nullify Beam Blast Supers. So it's like you could take him in there, and he's going to be doing really well. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut again and hop back whenever we have Janemba on rotation. Alright, we're hopping back over here. I was kind of hoping that Turles would transform on this turn, but he did not. I think we need one more turn to build up. Keep in mind well, let me go ahead and get these orbs. This will give Janemba, the Tech Janembas, was it 30% support? So yeah, you can see he jumps up to 445k defense. I think this will be his last build-up that he needs. I'm fine putting both of these guys in, like, if Cell's going to super attack, it's either going to be this first slot or second slot, I think, based on where he supered last turn. Hopefully it's not at the Turles on the end, because I don't think he could... I mean, he definitely can't take it. So, we're going to go and grab these orbs to heal up. Now, Janemba does have a Rage mode, which actually would be useful here, but we're not above 66% HP, so we cannot use it. You know, we've been kind of floating above this 50% to 70%, like, HP ratio this entire time, just because we've got kind of a little bit unlucky with super attack placement, but... last turn, we did take a super on Golden Frieza, and since that lowers his defense, it did do a little bit of damage. 10 million from this guy. I mean, look at it. I mean, he's aged well, right? Next turn, we'll be able to start running him in slot 1 just fine. You know, he'll slide in there. Hopefully, Cell super attacks here. Nice. Can he nullify this? Is this a beam? I don't think it is. I think that's an other, I think. Oof. A little bit of damage there, and he lowered defense. That sucks, because next turn would have been the turn that we get to see him fully built up. So we're not going to be able to see his true defense next turn. Anyway, we're going to cut again and come back on the Janemba rotation. I'm just trying to get, you know, Janemba footage in the video, and I don't really have anything to add at the moment, so we will come back. Alright, we're hopping back in. I went ahead and used Cooler's active skill there just to get us out of that AGL phase, and we're now into the physical phase. Now, here's the nice thing, right? We have this Cooler's active skill. We are going to go ahead and use this. I'm going to play it in the video, but typically... like 89 times out of 90, this Cell super attacks in slot 1. I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed. So we're going to go ahead and pop this and break that action because Janemba had his defense lowered, so there's no, like, need to, you know, test him out there. It'd be unfair to, you know, like, use that against him. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and play the Cooler active skill here. Yeah, one day my Cooler will, like, crit and additional and do things that other people's Cooler does, but until then, you know, it's just like, you know, Cooler, I don't know about that guy. So yeah, let's do this, so hopefully that we can get the Tech Janemba support. Nice. And then that'll also give us some healing. And then I think I want to get these STR orbs again also for a little bit more healing. So yeah, we're going to break that first attack, which should have been a super attack. Janemba is fully built up now, 5.4. We didn't even get an 18 key. It's not that bad. Considering what his defense would be if we weren't... like, he'd be at, like, what, 400-something K defense if we weren't defensively debuffed. That's why I didn't really feel the need to show his defense after the support, is because, like, this turn is kind of a wash anyway for Janemba. So next turn, though, whenever we come back against the STR Cell for sure does a Kamehameha, right? So that'll be good to see. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Janemba. I think, again, I don't know that he's aged well, but I think he's finally just got his team, right? Like, that's the whole purpose of this 200% team. You know, there's a lot of characters right now that are waiting on a 200% leader. Alright, we should be fine here. You know, let's go ahead and use this and just get this in the video. Why not? Alright, that's probably the most damage I've seen that active skill do. We should be fine here. I'm not too worried. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Hopefully, cut and then come back whenever we have Janemba on rotation again. Oh, I just realized Turles didn't transform again, by the way. What? Dude, what? Please. Like, we can use the healing. Brother, please. We might be dead here. But also, I think we were going to kill Cell anyway on this turn. So, I can't show it because I didn't actually record it. But Cooler got Cell down. Cooler went insane and got Cell down to, like... I cannot describe to you how small the health bar was. It was like a millimeter of health, and then Cell supered us, so... we still haven't gotten to see Janemba fully built up, so I think I'm going to do a quick rotation. I'm just going to try to get Janemba built up as fast as possible and just get a nice rotation of him with some support in another event, so stay tuned for that real quick. Alright, everybody, we're back here. We got Janemba fully built up. Now, we've got him here next to STR Cooler, and check Janemba. Now, he's got his active skill up. We're going to go ahead and get this because I didn't get to get it in the video up to now. He's at 400k defense, again, before we get the support. He is fully built up, right? Because, I mean, he's super attacked on turn 2, 4... No, I guess this is the turn that he would be fully built up. Because he hasn't gotten any additionals, right? Because he doesn't have any of his key links active. So he would start out with 6 key. Yeah, so he's not fully built up because he's getting 2 key from Coolers. Yeah. I don't think whenever we transform him, it counts as doing attacks for his... He's not fully built up, sorry. But we're going to go ahead and get the active skill in the video. That's some super intensive voice acting work there from the Janemba voice actor. Now, what I'm going to try to do here is clear the orbs up a little bit so that we can get, I don't know, the tech Janemba his support, I guess. I don't really know. Darn, I thought he was fully built up, but he's not because he hasn't additional yet. Oh, my luck for building... I mean, this is the issue with this guy, right, is that you really want to get him built up. I mean, 400k defense with guard and the nullification is probably enough for most of the bosses in the game. But, you know, if you get that last little 22% build up, it'll definitely help out a ton, right? But, you know, it's like, by this point in the fight, like, turn 6, you need to be fully built up these days. And if you're not, like, you better be hoping for good RNG so that you can get this guy fully built up. And it's not necessarily about him. Like, the reason we want him fully built up is so that he can really lock down slot 1. Like, that's the whole purpose of this Janemba, right? Is that we want him to just be that slot 1 lock. And if he's not fully built up, like, he's going to take a lot of damage if he gets supered in that first slot. Like, he won't really take damage from normals from anybody, as far as I know. But, like, if he takes, like, 400k from a super attack, and we're going up against, like, Broly, like, let's assume he doesn't nullify it, I guess. Well, which I don't know that he'd take that much from Broly, but I don't know. Let's just say, hypothetically, we're going up against a boss with double supers, and he takes a ton of damage in slot 1. And then the character in slot 2 is prone to taking damage from normals. Like, that's just not a good combo, right? So, we can go ahead and see what his defense is at. 460k with the Janemba support active. Now, I forgot to bring key changing items, so, you know, getting him his 24 key may be difficult for the return, or on the turn that we do have him fully built up next turn. I believe we'll have Turles next turn, so 40% support. We'll be missing out on 10%, but, you know, we'll have most of his links active. I could transform this tech Janemba and have, like, pretty much, like, what, 6 out of 7 active? Excuse me. We'll see. So this is, if he additionals here, that would be really nice. Or, well, I guess that was fully built up, right? Does that count? When does that kick in? It's after he attacks, isn't it? So, the extra 22% wasn't applied there. It was applied to his defense. We couldn't see it. But it wasn't applied, or that his attack stat did not reflect that, I believe. Alright, we'll come back on the next rotation when we'll have... Oh, we'll have the other cooler. That's okay. Alright, here we are. Hopefully we can get the nullification here. Now, I am going to put physical Janemba in slot 1. Am I? Because we could get tech Janemba's support and damage reduction there. And we'd have more links active here. Ooh. I'm tempted to do this. You know what, we're going to do this. So this will be Janemba's support active because that's 4 type orbs. And this Janemba is going to have his damage reduction. The reason I want to do this is usually this Vegeta likes to super in slot 1, so we would have a 50% chance to get the nullification here. But, you know, it is what it is. So let's see what he's at. Yeah, 445k defense. Again, we're only getting the 30% support from this Janemba. We're not getting any other support on this rotation. Not bad. I mean, that's enough, like, to survive a super from basically any boss in the game right now, which is good. And you can survive normals. I'm pretty sure that's double digits from normals from, I believe, every boss. At least every major, like Red Zone and the 6th Anniversary Sin, I believe. That is enough, right? Because he does like 600k normals on that AoE that Sin does. With guard, I don't want to say you half it, but like that's enough to take double digits. So, I mean, that's definitely very good, right? If I could change one thing about this character, I wish he got defense on super attack. I mean, obviously, that's like the one factor that really separates modern units from old units. But like, even on release, him just getting like the greatly lowers defense on super was just like, why? Like, you can't even, like, just give him, like, an attack raise. Like, I mean, he does decent damage, but this guy's kit, like, if you really look at it, is very bare bones. Like, it's good, but it's really carried by, like, his links and just, like, his cohesiveness and his guard. Like, the actual kit itself kind of blows. like the numbers. Like, he doesn't get any key unless he attacks in slot 2 or 3, which you don't want to put him in slot 3. So, slot 2, he gets key, and then he gets attack and defense in slots 2 or 3. But again, you don't want to put him in slot 3, so it's just slot 2. Like, it's so weird. Like, he wants to be a slot 1 character, but you need to build him up in slot 2, and he doesn't have any additionals, and you need him to attack 3 times in slot 2, which is going to take at least 2 turns. Or no, I'm sorry. Yes, at least 2 turns as it sits, right? So you get like a double super on one of those, and then like one on the other. And then after that, on like, let's say you get this guy turn 1. So turn 1 and 3, you can build him up, and then turn 5, you can start putting him in slot 1. Like, that's not what this guy needs to be. This guy just needs to be a slot 1 lock. So, like, on Easy A, they can keep his build up, but just give him the build up. Like, just any slot, he builds up, right? Give him the guard, all slots. And then just, like, bump his numbers up, give him defense on super, and I think this guy is good to go. Now, he's not in line to get an Easy A soon, anytime soon. But hypothetically, if they were doing an Easy A, yeah, see, I wish I had put the physical Janemba here because he could nullify this. This guy will be fine, yeah. Because he's got that damage reduction. He'll take a little bit until he super attacks. But he should, yeah, he's at double digits again here because he gets, this Janemba gets the defense raise on super attack. Oh no, my battery's dying. My battery was at like 50% whenever I started this video, I think. Draining videos really just like kills your battery. I've also been sitting here for like 40 minutes just like going. For you guys, I think the video is like 30, but you know, I've like cut out a bunch of stuff, so. And whenever I say cut out, I don't actually mean I edited this. I mean I paused the video. Like, you know, in OBS, you can hit, like, pause recording. Or maybe you don't know because you don't record videos. But, yeah, in OBS, you can just, like, hit a button that pauses the recording, which is what I'm doing. Whenever I say, like, I'm making a cut, I'm clicking pause. I'm not actually, like, I don't have the energy or time to edit these. I make the thumbnails, right? But, actually editing the videos, no. We can probably end this with Cooler's active skill, maybe. I don't know. Let's just get it. Well, we don't need to get it anymore in the video. We already played it, didn't we? I forgot. It's been so long. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. All right, that's a good place to end it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought about Janemba on his 200% leader. I tried to, you know, focus as much as I could on Janemba. If you'd like me to show him in other scenarios, like other events with other partners around them, let me know. I thought this was a pretty good showing, though, of, like, what this Janemba can do. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.